In the state of Jharkhand, JMM MLAs have returned to Ranchi after hiding out at a resort in Hyderabad for the last few days. It was an attempt to prevent poaching by rival parties, but Chief Minister Champai Soren claims that the party has the majority on the floor of the House. Remember, the majority mark in the Jharkhand Assembly is 41, and the Champai Soren-led government is expected to sail through the floor test unless there's a twist that takes place beforehand. Now, remember, the former Jharkhand Chief Minister Soren tendered his resignation last week after being grilled by the Enforcement Directorate for hours in connection with an alleged land scam case. He was then arrested, and his plea against the ED's arrest is set to be heard by the Jharkhand High Court tomorrow. Now, remember, in a big development, the JMM MLAs are back in Ranchi. They've just arrived at the airport, and they are exiting the airport as we speak. In fact, those are the visuals on your screens right now. Remember, it's going to be highly significant because the floor test in the state of Jharkhand is taking place tomorrow itself. Importantly, it's important to note that Champai Soren, the current Jharkhand Chief Minister, has already stated that the party has the numbers to pass it with majority, and that's going to be crucial for the government. Now, remember, just last week, chaos had erupted, political turmoil had erupted in the state because Soren had to resign after he was questioned in connection with the alleged land scam case. Now, after that, what had happened was that when he resigned, the Champai Soren was sworn in as the next Jharkhand Chief Minister, and now it's upon the government, the new government, which is now being led by Champai Soren, to prove their majority on the floor of the House. And that's the development that is going to be taking place tomorrow. On that note, JMM MLAs have returned from Hyderabad. They had been put in a resort in Hyderabad in order to avoid any poaching attempts by rival parties ahead of the floor test. And they are now back in Ranchi ahead of the floor test tomorrow. Crossing over to my colleague Priyank to get us more details. Priyank, over to you.
Certainly, you can see the development which is happening here at Ranchi Airport, where the MLAs have arrived. This is the carcade of the MLAs who have now been ferried inside this particular bus, which is going straight in front of these police escort vehicles. It's going to be a very important day for the Jharkhand Assembly because the floor test is expected to start around 11:15, where all these MLAs who were taken to Telangana have come back. When we spoke to a few of the MLAs, they say that you know what is going to happen tomorrow, and we are certainly prepared for all the best possible number of MLAs who are going to be present in the House. The Jharkhand Assembly has a total strength of 81, out of which 80 MLAs are eligible to cast the vote. And it's very important because Soren himself, who has now been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, will also be present there. Right behind me, you can see the carcade of all those MLAs who had gone to Telangana for the last 48 hours have come back. It's a test of the time for the GMM coalition to show their strength in the House, which is most important thing in the entire political dynamics which is happening in the state of Jharkhand since Monday last week. So 7 days of high voltage drama is certainly going to be having some kind of full stop. This is what the expectation is by tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Priyank, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those very important details. Remember, the all-important floor test is taking place tomorrow itself in the Jharkhand Assembly. With this, we shift focus, just as the